Hi friends, it's Stark here, and this is a little bit of a different video. I wanted to bring awareness to some statements made by Nintendo regarding tournament guidelines that have taken the Smash communities by storm and are supposedly going into effect November 15th, 2023. So today, October 24th, 2023, Nintendo Japan, EU, and UK released statements each outlining new guidelines for running both unlicensed and licensed tournaments for any of their games. If you followed Melee throughout the years, you've no doubt been a part of multiple movements, from getting Melee back in EVO, as well as the pushback and protest of free Melee after the cancelled online Big House back in 2021. This update goes over some fairly big points of contention, and with it looking likely that Nintendo of America will release something similar very soon, here's what we know so far. There's a couple screenshots going around in the initial statements that were released for the EU, UK, and Japan guidelines, suggesting that there is now a cap on entry fees for both the community and larger run major tournaments, outlining at a max of around 20 euros or any other country's equivalent, which will cause significant disruption, balancing out costs for TOs, especially for any major tournaments trying to even break even in large venues with thousands of competitors. Cash prizing is also capped out at 10,000 euros, with no individual prize exceeding half of that value across the 12 months of the year. A distinction is made in these guidelines about two different kinds of tournaments: community and licensed organized tournaments, which each define different rulings about how many people can attend the tournament per day and how much venue fees can be charged, meaning that local tournaments would either have to risk not getting the license and hope that Nintendo can't enforce these rules, or attempt to get major tournament licenses, which, if any of you remember what happened with our circuits, has proven to be tougher than it sounds. People are tweeting out that Nintendo is suggesting that without a license, you cannot run over 200 to 300 entrants per day in these tournaments, which, if you know the tournament counts for major tournaments, especially those that are over 1,000, this makes running these tournaments very logistically complicated. Further, Nintendo is also expressing that no sponsors or advertising of any products be attached to the community tournaments of any kind, harming the ability to sustainably run events. Nintendo continues to take further steps to restrict tournaments that attempt to sell alcohol, have any type of political causes, and also seem to have issue with alternative controllers, which may affect box users, as well as the participation of outside players in college and university tournaments. This will affect local scenes greatly if Nintendo goes through the work of enforcing this. These conditions also suggest that tournament organizers may not run tournaments that involve anything that Nintendo deems inappropriate, which, although may not seem that contestable, is an umbrella and very broad statement that, if adhered to, essentially gives Nintendo continued power to say they have the right to shut down any Nintendo game tournament at any time for any reason they want. Tournaments that are online are also said to must adhere to the official Nintendo software and Nintendo provided services and servers, which is directly in contrast to how many tournaments are operating on Slippy, Smashmate ladders, etc. And while several major tournaments already have Nintendo licenses, the resulting impacts to profit generation and in big online tournaments such as Coinbox are going to be in a precarious and curious position moving forward. There's been some responses. Of course, people are freaking out online, which is, I'm glad and expected. The noise is helpful. In Japan, one player notes that TOs of all the major Japanese locals have assembled into a Discord to discuss solutions, and many of our top Melee and Ultimate TOs are also staying strong, noting that unless Nintendo is walking into their venue with the police and a lawyer holding a cease and desist, that they will continue running sick tournaments. And as we wait to see the eventual North American statement, my perspective is this. You've seen Scar say that they will need to physically come tear us out of the venues to stop us. How will they do that? You've seen Mango say that the game will live, even if it's for $20, playing in a back alley with the roaches. There is going to be noise. There will be protest. And we didn't just watch Cody Schwab, Melee legend, go on one of the best tournament runs ever to have Nintendo shut down all the tournaments directly after. I don't believe in Nintendo being able to enforce and micromanage and stop our tournaments. It doesn't feel tenable, and that's a good sign. I think we have some of the most creative and resourceful tournament organizers of any scene behind us. Smash will survive, Melee will survive, and we will be okay. I will post any updates in the comments as we hear them. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, free Melee.
And corporate America is like telling us that we can't. Are we going to see the police come in and take our CRTs away? No, I don't think so. And until the police come in and tell me to leave, I think that's what we should do. I honestly think that in 2023 and beyond, we should plan our tournaments, and everybody should know we might be going to a tournament, we might be going to a protest. That's honestly what I think we should do. And it starts to tell us that we can't do... We need to, as a community, we could do whatever we want. Yeah, it's landlord behavior. That's right, Jackzilla. We don't have any landlords. We don't want that many. We don't want landlords. That's not how this shit works in our community.